OG Michael Myers, Nick Castle, just gave us some interesting info about how Halloween Ends is going to end. Let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie? Name it.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing now.
We're gonna get you. Oh, blood on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking a little bit about Halloween Ends, talking about what is going to happen in this ending. We have a little more information concerning that from OG Michael Myers, Nick Castle himself. Now before I get into all this, I'm going to need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. I would greatly appreciate it. One human being to possibly another. Or maybe you're a robot. I don't know, but you should still subscribe if you are a robot. You'll probably enjoy this content. Maybe. I don't know. So, getting into this. Nick Castle, who's of course the OG Michael Myers, played the character all the way back in 1978 and has reprised his role in the past two David Gordon Green films in little cameo appearances. Obviously, James Jude Courtney is like Michael Myers nowadays, but we have Nick Castle doing little cameo appearances in the last two movies, which is awesome. He recently confirmed in an interview that he will have a cameo appearance once again in this film, not really clarifying that, which I think is interesting. He actually said it was a little cameo for what will be the end, at least, of the David Gordon Green version of Halloween. A quote from him, very interesting. I don't know if it's something different. Maybe it's like him appearing as a different character or something along those lines. I would love to just see him play Michael again in some kind of interesting sequence. Maybe he's the one, maybe at the end between him and Laurie they have some kind of fight or something. It's actually Nick Castle doing it instead of James Jude Courtney. I don't know what they might do with that. But to continue about him talking about how Halloween Ends is going to end, he says this: I think there might be more because of all the success of this trilogy, but Green will have a very surprising storyline. An ending for everyone. And he continued with, it's absolutely something I don't think you would have ever guessed in terms of the way it's going to unroll. So I feel like some easy guesses about how this movie is going to end is either like Michael Myers kills Laurie Strode kills Michael. I feel like those are the obvious answers. So can we rule those out at this point with what Nick Castle has said? Or is this just kind of like something he's saying in an interview so that we overthink it and then ultimately we get some kind of just normal ending? I don't know. I feel like this isn't a timeline where we're just gonna get a straight up like normal ending to a slasher movie where it's just like Michael dies or Laurie dies. It's not gonna be that clean cut. They're setting up a lot more than just that for it to be so a clean cut ending, and I feel like that would be kind of weird. I don't think I would love that ending. It's got to be something a little more complicated, a little more bittersweet, not just one way or the other. Not just something that's sweet, not just something that's bitter. Somewhere in the middle, somewhere bittersweet area, if that makes any sense. Also, elaborating a little further on that, Jason Blum had talked about, I believe this was like a year ago, when he was saying that there would not be any more Halloween movies, at least in this timeline, from David Gordon Green, of course, because David Gordon Green and Jason Blum will be working on a new trilogy of Exorcist films. If you want to hear me talk about that, I talked about that a long time ago about how I just don't think that's a good idea, but that's a whole different story. That's for an entirely different video. This is going to be the last one from David Gordon Green, at least. Are they going to end it? Are they going to finish it up here? What's the idea? What's the plan? What is the plan with Halloween Ends? What is this ending going to be that's so different from everything else that we've seen? And I think that it's got to be something a little more complicated. A big thing they're setting up with Will Patton's character, for example, Frank Hawkins. I feel like he's going to have some kind of involvement in the ending. I don't necessarily know if they're going to make this new character that they've just created for the last two movies ultimately be the one to take down Michael Myers. I'm sure a lot of fans would be kind of disappointed in that, considering the fact that we've been kind of waiting like 40 plus years to see Laurie Strode take down Michael Myers, which technically has never happened on screen. In H2O, it got retconned by Resurrection. Another reason, another negative to add to the list of reasons why we don't like Resurrection. But yeah, unfortunately, that technically got retconned. So are we going to get a definitive ending between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers? Is it going to be something where she just kills him, he just kills her? I feel like it's going to be a little more complicated than that. Maybe meaning that like Allison is going to get a stab at Michael. Allison's going to play some part in the character dying, as well as Frank Hawkins, as well as Kyle Richards' character. I feel like everyone's going to be some kind of complicated piece of this puzzle to ultimately taking down Michael Myers. It's not going to be a clean cut, just final battle at the end of the movie. Laurie Strode tackles him off of a radio tower and they just plummet to their death together. Bam! Movie's over. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be a little more complicated than that. There's also been 4 years in between the events of Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and now the events of Halloween Ends. So something had to take place in between those 4 years for something big has to happen to build up to this movie, I think. It's not going to be as cookie cutter as a lot of us are speculating, I think. Another thing I want to talk about, though, with Will Patton's character is technically the studio has not confirmed the guy to be in this film, and we have not seen any behind-the-scenes pictures with him either. We've seen just about everybody else on set, including JLC, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kyle Richards, Andy Matichak, James Jude Courtney, but we really haven't seen too many set photos of any other characters. So, is Will Patton going to be returning as Frank Hawkins? Is he still going to be alive between the events of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends? I feel like it would be kind of weird if they didn't keep him alive. They're clearly setting something up with his character. They kept him alive between Halloween's 2018 and Halloween Kills. Why did they do that? They wouldn't have had to do that. He really didn't serve too much of a purpose in Halloween Kills unless they were setting him up to be something big in the next movie. The only thing he really does in Halloween Kills is kind of be the star of the flashbacks when we go back to the 70s. They put this heavy emphasis on how the character has this relationship between Michael Myers, very similar to like what Laurie Strode has with him. They're both traumatized by this entity of evil in totally different ways, and something we didn't know about the character going into the 2018 film. It's really interesting, and it's something I'm very excited to see how they like give us the punch with all this setup through all these years of setup. It's got to be something good. It's got to be something big, something explosive, not just one character killing the other. It's going to be all this crazy setup to one big final punch. I think there's one thing that is certain at this point, considering everything we've read about, like how the people involved feel about the ending. It's not going to be something that everybody is going to like. That's a big thing we have to mentally prepare ourselves for, I think. It's going to be another film like Halloween Kills where it's polarizing to the fans. It's something that one side either really loves and one side just really does not like. Halloween Kills is kind of a departure from things that made Halloween so great in some ways, but also puts a heavy emphasis on the things that we do like about the Halloween franchise as well. We kind of depart from having a good storyline. No offense, but like there's really no story. It's just Michael Myers running around killing people and like the mob is racing around town. It's clunky. It's all over the place. But what it puts an emphasis on is Michael's brutality. The flashback scenes to the 70s. We get this awesome recreation of basically how exactly the 1978 movie looks, which that attention to detail is to applaud. It is amazing. It's one of Disney doesn't even do it that well with their Star Wars movies, in my opinion. I think the Halloween Kills is maybe the best example of how to recreate the look and feel of an original movie. It's just amazing. If you have nothing else positive to say about the film, you gotta at least admit that. The attention to detail with everything from those sequences is just a 10 out of 10 for me. But there is also a lot of negatives about Halloween Kills, which really kind of just... it makes it hard to just absolutely love that film and hold it on such a pedestal, because you fall into the same pitfalls that you did back in Halloween 2, like years and years and years ago, with having a bedridden Laurie Strode. It's not as exciting as having Laurie Strode running around Haddonfield trying to take down Michael Myers or being chased by the guy. It's just not, it's how do you do that twice? That's such a big mistake with Halloween Kills for me, and the ending is all over the place. It doesn't make any sense spatially, if you think about it. How the hell did Michael Myers get back to the house with all those cops out front? Nobody noticed him? Come on. It doesn't make any sense. The whole mob scene is also not written very well, but I do really like Halloween Kills. I guess the point I'm trying to make, though, is that Halloween Ends can fix a lot of these problems if it gives us a really good punch of an ending. Hopefully that's the case. Something big, explosive, crazy, not just Michael Myers getting killed or not just Laurie Strode getting killed and Michael Myers walks off into the sunset. Give us something bigger than that. Give us something unexpected. Hopefully that's the case here with Halloween Ends, but we'll just have to see on October 14th of this year, baby. I'm counting down the days. I cannot wait for this. So what do you guys think, though? Are you excited for Halloween Ends, or do you feel otherwise? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this new Halloween Ends update. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, if you want to support this page further, join my channel memberships or be a supporter on Patreon. Don't do both, though, because they're exactly the same thing. I just have both, so it's a little more easier for people to either do Patreon, channel memberships, whatever you guys prefer. So make sure to check that out. You get an extra video every single week, and if you support me at some of the other tiers, you get a bunch of other like early access stuff. You get access to like seeing some behind the scenes stuff of Red Right Hand. You get to know more information than just the general public. Thank you all for watching this video, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.